Hi, my name is Jeff Pagano, and welcome to the Harpin and Rugby Preview Show. And join me to look ahead to Ireland's next Six Nations assignment is someone making a 76th pod appearance. Welcome back to Mr. Neil Keego. Keegan.
How are we? It's a big weekend ahead. Paddy's going to be here, and the Six Nations trophy will remain where it is.
Please God, it's an extra super Saturday we're hoping for. Before we crack on, Keego, we obviously don't want to harp too much on Twickenham, but we should probably still get your quick thoughts on it.
I think my quick thoughts are listen to Brian O'Driscoll during the week and not some fella after 12 points on Twitter. That's the answer. He covered absolutely everything. They let him speak. They let him finish a sentence. So don't listen to me. Go listen to King Brian. That's all you need to know.
Absolutely. That's enough said for there. Okay, listen, now it's time to look at our feature match of the week, which is, of course, Ireland v Scotland in round 5 of the 2024 Guinness Six Nations. It's taking place at the Aviva Stadium on Saturday, March the 16th, kicking off at 4:45 p.m. TV coverage in Ireland is on Virgin Media 1. As ever, you'll find the full listings for the weekend over at harpinandrugby.com. Just click the Rugby on TV tab. Ireland named their match day 23 at 2 p.m. on Thursday. If you're watching on YouTube, it should be right there on the screen. For pod listeners, it's in the program notes. Keego's picked out a few points, starting with we've gone back to the 5-3 bench.
Yeah, and I think it's a beautiful thing. People keep talking about 6-2 for all this sort of stuff. And like my point is it depends on what we want to do. It depends on the opposition. It's not a cut and dry rule. It's going to work some weeks, and then there's going to be bad luck where 6-2 doesn't work. This week 5-3 is pretty good, and you look at all the people who are in there training yesterday and this morning with the squad as well. Even the 5 of the 5 and the 3 of the 3 may change, as you say, every week. So I think everyone got hung up on this kind of 6-2 split. Same in the blue jersey. We need to chill a wee bit. They know what they're doing. It depends on the game they want to play. It was bad luck last week. This week we're more 5-3. We're going to play a bit more ball. We're going to get sexier with it this week. We expect the pack to be able to handle the work they're going to be asked to do. When we feel they're going to be put under more pressure, that's when the other formation pops up. But listen, I'm happy with the selection. I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean it's an easy assumption to make that just because we lost, that's why we're going back to the 5-3. But I don't think that also we went with the 5-3 against Italy. I think the 6-2 was a good strategy and I think it was for the France and the England matches. Now we did it against Wales, but I think we did that to prepare for the England match. The one thing we couldn't prepare for is losing a back after 1 minute and then losing the replacement for him in the second half. So that's it's you've got to take these risks going into it, and it's panned out other times. It worked really well against France, but not so much last weekend. But listen, I think they're right to go this way. And your second point is about Ross Burns back in training.
Yeah, which is great to see. If you didn't have bad luck, you'd have no luck. So to see him in there with the green jersey on, training with the team, they obviously still see value in him. I know Harry was there as well. And I think there was somebody else, I can't remember who, but there's 3 of them in there outside of the 23, kind of vying for that 23 jersey. And it's great to see that, there'll be a little bit of time for him to get back to form, but he's a class operator. As we always say, mortgage payment at stake, kick in the 79th minute. Who do we want taking it? It's Ross Burns. So, we always need him.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why they went with Harry because he's been there for the all the training sessions up to now, and Ross is just finding his way back into the team. But Ross still has a role to play in this team, and you're thinking about the South Africa tour and getting to know all the systems. So it made sense. It was good to see him back. It's good to see him still in contention, but you can still see why they went with the team. I mean, it's a good team. It's pretty much there's not too many changes. It's good to see that Nash was able to come back and play. It's a shame that Frawley didn't make it, but I think Ringrose isn't a bad name to put on the old team sheet as well. And again, you can still, whatever happened last week as well, you can still see why you've got Aki and Henshaw there in the center, and Ringrose is to the bench. And Ringrose offers options as well. I'd love to see him try it on the wing as well at some point. So there's a lot of different ways we can go with him. So it's an interesting lineup for sure. Okay, so now a quick look at the Scots lineup there. What do you make of it?
Look, my third thing was going to be like the Scots see it as a free shot. Maybe they kind of see Ireland as a little bit fragile after last week. The kind of, the lazy journalism and all that sort of stuff. So they're going to come and they're going to go for it. They've gone as big as they can. Like they've gone as strong as they can. And we've got to be realistic. If we operate the way we should, it should be a big win. but they're going to show up, and it's like every single time teams are coming up against us now, they're going to go for a big opening 20. Scotland are going to do exactly the same thing. So we need that big start, similar to the France game, similar to Italy, similar to all these games recently, obviously aside from last week. We have to start big. We have to start strong. We have to push any positivity out of them because they've picked big. And, we know they're going to try and suck us up in the middle and then go out wide to the big man on the wing. It sounds easy from the couch, but they've got to work their way out there. We can't let them get out there with one pass. We've got to make them earn that journey out there. And by the time they get out there, we have to reset if we need to. But we know what they're going to do. We know what the Lionel Messi of rugby is going to try and do. So we need to start big.
Yeah, they're big, like you say, they're big dangers. Are Finn Russell with his unpredictability, but can be a brilliant unpredictability at times. But also, yeah, your man Duhan out in the wing. But the question is, like you say, do they get the ball to him? And I think on the looks of that, you always say put the two teams against each other and see who'd make who'd make the one team between them.
Yeah.
And I think especially in the pack, I think we've enough in our own pack to put enough pressure on Finn that that the ball won't get out to him. If he does get if Duhan gets a regular supply of ball, that's on us. That's basically on. He's played against us before. He hasn't done it. I think against the English system, I think he does find himself with that more space. That's why he's kind of scoring tries for fun against them. But hopefully now, because of what happened last week, you look at what happened when we played France. And now I know it was a bigger gap to the previous defeat, but still, France was our next match, and that was a tough one. And they picked themselves up, and they really put in a display that day. And hopefully, within a week after last week, they can recover again as well. And it's home advantage, so much on the line.
Absolutely, and it's great that there's no break. But I was going to say that we know what Scotland are going to try and do. They're going to try and get half an inch of space for Finn to kick over us with Van der Merwe and the other winger chasing. We know that's what they're going to do. So we have to just either slow them down or starve them. Like a supermodel in the 80s, we've got to starve them. But if they get a shot, we need Keenan operating at a high level. We need everyone operating at a high level to do the job. I've no doubt that they will, but I think when we see it happening with Leinster a couple of times with Ireland, where it's the rush defence, the kind of line speed that they're going to try and do. To open up a little bit of space behind them for Finn to put the kick in. That's what they plan on doing. So we need to learn from recent games, not mistakes, but recent games, and flood that.
Yeah, and despite the fact that they know what we're going to do, we've still been able to do it, and we do it so well and effectively. If we can just keep those levels of accuracy up there, I really think we've enough to get the job done. But then we'll have to see what happens. Okay, so now a quick look at the officials. As you can see there, Matthew Carley is the referee, and he's got his team of officials there. The weather for Dublin 4 on Saturday evening is low clouds, not much chance of rain, 14% there, and doesn't seem to be too much wind, so it should be good conditions for rugby. Definitely what we want to see. We'll take a quick look now at maybe the other matches this weekend. Wales against Italy first.
Yeah, look. In my super brew, I put Italy down for another win, and I don't know when. I don't think they've ever had two wins in a Six Nations campaign, so that's a good bet as well. Don't bet, but don't listen to me. But I would love to see it. I think they were well worth the victory last week. They really. I got to sit and watch the second half without interruptions. Delighted for them. No flukes, which is the key. And I think there's another win in them. I think it's a late kick again. I think it's 3 points, but I do fancy them. I think Wales, unfortunately, are just disintegrating. We said a couple of weeks ago the only thing they can control is what's on the pitch, but off the pitch is going so badly that it's hard for them not to think about it. And they've got kind of retirees starting to kick in now as well. People are throwing their hats in it, so I think Italy are going to go for it.
Yeah, you would definitely lean towards Italy, especially on recent form. I mean, you do have to feel for the Welsh fans a bit. I know we have banter with them and all, but it would be tough for them to lose all their matches. But that, like you say, I really do think that was a close one. They always produce good players. They do have some quality players in their team, so it could definitely go right to the wire. And then we have Le Crunch finishing off the day on Saturday, France against England.
I think it's going to be two big away wins. I think England are going to turn over France. To be fair to them, and I wish I was more mature, but I hated last weekend. But to be fair to them, There wasn't a massive amount of spectacular stuff going on, but they did their stuff very well. And if they start from that point, then they can build out to the skillful players. But I think they're on a wave. I think they can do it. I think France, again, similar to Wales, but slightly different. It's between their ears now. It's not a skill issue. It's like you take Dupont out, and they're looking around going, Jesus, where's our security blanket gone? So, and I think England, if they just do England, if they just be stubborn, like all English people are, with all respect to our brothers and sisters, I think they're going to turn them over in France.
That would definitely be a result because they really emptied it all against us last
Yeah,
week. So to turn it around and go over to Lyon and repeat it would definitely be something else. And
yeah.
knowing they can do that puts extra pressure on us because results go a certain way and they could still finish top. Okay, so a quick look at the some other rugby going on this weekend. Of course, on Friday evening we've got the Wolf Puppies, the under-20s, playing against Scotland. Now they are a point behind England in the standings there. England have been doing well. They had that amazing draw last weekend,
Yeah.
but still favorable. They could still win the championship because we're playing Scotland, who haven't got a win, and England also have to go to France, and that's never easy. So, and it's going to be interesting because our game kicks off again an hour before theirs, so that's going to be a lot of interesting rugby to watch this evening. Still on the line.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
it is good. Yeah, could go to that could go to the wire as well. And Leinster, of course, are in action this weekend. They put out another young team. They're playing another Premiership side. They're over in Bath. That game is actually on being screened, but it's interesting. It's on the Bath TikTok channel of all things. I don't know how that works. I don't never watched the game in that format, but that should be worth checking out. And then, of course, finally on Sunday we got the Schools Cup final, Rock against Michaels. I've spoken recently about the great Rock Michaels final from 2013. Produced people like James Ryan and Ross Maloney and Gary Ringrose. They all played in that, and the two schools are going up against each other again this Paddy's Day, so that should be an interesting watch as well at lunchtime. Which brings us back to our feature match of the week. And put your head in the block. What's your prediction?
I think it's us plus 10. We don't make the same mistake twice. The thing we need to look out for is we don't respond well to tournament format, so we need to adjust between the years. But I don't think we have. I don't think Scotland have anything that we're going to be worried about come the hour mark. I think Ireland Jitsu will squeeze any positivity out of them, and I think it's a 10-point win, and we celebrate.
Yeah, I mean we've become a kind of I don't say a bogey team for Scotland, but I really think that as good as team as they've had and as well as they've done, whereas on the one hand they found a way to beat England every year, we're kind of the opposite. Mm-hmm. They really struggle against our system, and if we can get the accuracy, and especially this week get off to a much better start and get some momentum in that first quarter, I really think we can get it done.
And can I just say one thing? Everyone who's going to the stadium, get there early. I know getting pints is annoying, but get to the stadium early. Get the noise in there for the warm up. Scream until you're hoarse.
Make sure they can hear you when they're in the dressing room.
That's exactly
what ready
you need.
Beforehand. That's what they want. Absolutely.
We need big noise. We need to make this place a cauldron again. I know it's difficult with the relatively new stadium and the noise disappears quickly. That means we got to make twice as much because most of us would chop off a leg to afford a ticket to go. So if you can go, make that noise. Get your pints early and get in there because the team needs to know that we're all there. We need to make a wall. We need to frighten the Scots. These are fellas who wore kilts into war against the English, showing them their arses. We don't do that to them, but just shout at them.
Yeah, I mean, the Grand Slam may be gone, and it's okay to say it on the pod now, but the championship is still there, and that ain't nothing. Two titles in a row is definitely something. Okay, listen, man, we're going to leave it there. Many thanks for joining us again. What stand-up gigs do you have lined up?
So we have a week off, and then we have a big week the following week, 25th, 27th. So the 25th, we're in Inchicore, Rascals Comedy Club, Rascals Brewery. It's a great spot. And then we have the Good Friday. We're turning into Great Friday in the Mermaid Theatre in Bray. Everyone come on out. We want to jam the place up. We've got arts, culture, comedy, and me. So we've got a bit of everything there. So pop on down.
Sounds good. Of course, you'll find all those links in the program notes. Okay, cheers, man. Have a great weekend. Hope to see you soon.
Cheers. Have a great one.
And many thanks to you all for tuning in to our latest preview show. And if you can also tune in to Dublin South 93.9 FM around 5 p.m. on Friday, check out our new Harp and Rugby segment there. Then be sure to enjoy the match wherever you are. And you can follow us on all the usual social media channels, including Threads and Blue Sky. We will, of course, have a rap pod for you this week, recording on Sunday evening. So hopefully you'll help us out by liking, sharing, and subscribing. In the meantime, stay safe, everyone. Slán.